Yes, this past weekend I went to an Italian restaurant. I met a waitress. 2 hours later, she was at my house. I'm gonna break down exactly how this happened, how I pulled it off, the same day close, what I said to her at the restaurant, what I said to her over text. I'm gonna pull up the screenshots as well, all for proof, and break down my exact game. So hopefully you can do the same exact thing, because I love a spontaneous, in the moment type of interaction with a woman. I think it's honestly my favorite. I've done it many times. So let me break it down exactly how I did it and what you can do to replicate my success. So it was a beautiful Sunday evening and I was walking around looking for a restaurant. I had never been to this restaurant. I'm Italian. It's Italian. I've walked by it before. It's never been open. So I said, you know what? We're going inside. So I went inside and I immediately grabbed the table. I was sitting by myself and it was a very busy restaurant. There was a lot of older people there because there's this theater show right around the block. And so they like to go to the theater, I guess. They're old people. I don't really know. They were like 60 to 70, retirement home vibe. So I'm sitting there alone and there's two servers, her being one of them and another older woman. And I saw that she had my area and I was like, oh, she's cute. I like that. And so I'm sitting there and she comes over to take my order and immediately off the bat, okay, I'm giving great energy. Before she even talks to me and gets my order, I'm giving fantastic energy. I'm smiling. I'm looking her in the eyes. She comes over. How you doing? I'm like, fantastic. How are you? We're having some slightly playful banter that is not about food, right? I'm giving really good energy. I'm not like on my phone being like, yeah, I'll take a water, and then try to like pick her up later. Like that just doesn't work. You have to lead with good energy. So I'm sitting back in my chair relaxed. I'm smiling. I'm fantastic. How are you? And she was like, I'm good. What can I get you to drink? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, let me grab a sparkling water. And then I was like, why do I feel like I'm in a retirement home right now? Why is everybody about to die? She started laughing. Because again, the most powerful tool you have when you are in real life situations in person with women is the context of what you're around. And so I'm looking around and I'm like, everyone in here is about to fucking croak over. And so I made a joke about it. And she started laughing. She's like, oh, it's because the theater, everybody goes after. Like, that's the only reason we're open. I'm like, oh, interesting. I've actually never been here before, so I didn't know the atmosphere, the vibe. I was just walking by and wanted to grab something to eat. She's like, oh, okay. Well, I'll be back with your water. She wanted to hang out, but she obviously was working. But anyways, that was a great drop of a really good first impression because I made her laugh, because I was smiling, because there was eye contact, because there was just great energy. And she was smiling and laughing too and making great eye contact. After that initial interaction, I'm like, yeah, it's over. Cat's in the bag. Like we could just wrap this up. We can close down the restaurant. You're coming with me. I own you now. And so she got me my water. I was like, thank you. And she looked young, on the younger side. And I wasn't sure her age. And so she brings me back the water, more eye contact, more smiling. I'm like, how old are you if you don't mind me asking? She's like, I'm 22. I'm like, okay, good. I don't want to go to jail. And she started laughing. And she's like, I'll come back for your order. More humor. Do you see how I'm using humor to create attraction? Humor, banter, wit is very powerful for disarming women. It's very powerful for making them comfortable. It's very powerful for making them feel giddy and safe with you so that they like you. It enhances attraction. If I was just like, excuse me, how old are you? Oh, okay. Like, I need to be here. This is what attraction is. How old are you? Oh, fantastic. I'm not going to jail. I'm taking her up and down. It's a fucking amusement park. It is up and down. It is like, what is this guy going to say next? I better go find out, basically. So anyways, we laugh about that. I want to make sure that she obviously was of age. I also wanted to, throw in a joke there, which just happens not premeditated. It just flies off the cuff. I just say things. And so she comes back and I'm like, what do you like here? What's good here? I already was looking at the chicken parmesan, but I didn't really know. And she mentioned some other chicken dish. I'm like, no, like what about the chicken parmesan? She's like, yeah, that's really good. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take that. Blah, blah, blah. Boom. It was just eye contact. There wasn't any banter. It was just like eye contact. Good body language again. Boom. She goes, she grabs me my order eventually. I get my chicken parmesan and she's like, do you want more parmesan on top? I'm like, yeah, of course. She starts laughing. She's like, okay, I'll go grab it. She comes back, but she did take a minute because she had other tables to hit for different things. And so I'm like halfway done with my chicken. And she comes back and she's like, do you still want the parmesan? Like jokingly. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'll take it. You took your time. And she was like, you eat so fast, blah, blah, blah. Little jokes here and there, So anyways, I fucking scarfed down my chicken parmesan. And she comes back and she's like, do you want dessert or anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just take the check. And I was thinking about how to word, the pickup, the close, the CTA, the call to action. And I thought about it and I was like, well, if she asked me if I want anything else, I'll say, yeah, I need your Instagram. I'm like, that's really smooth. But she didn't ask me that. So I had to pivot. She was like, do you want dessert? So I couldn't say no. Well, I could have said, no, I want your Instagram. But instead I was like, no, I'm good with the check. And then when she brought the check back, I was like, I need one more thing. And she was like, what is it? And I'm like, I need your Instagram. And she was like, I actually just deleted my Instagram a few days ago. And I'm like, then how am I going to talk to you? And she's like, I'll give you my number. Okay. And I'm like, okay, fantastic. What's your number? And she was like, I actually just got a new phone. I don't know. I slid her back the check and I'm like, go write it down. She stopped. I'm not kidding. She stopped what she was doing in the whole restaurant. Like you had like people like trying to wave her down. She grabs the check. She fucking beelines it to her phone, kind of by like the registers and stuff. Writes it down on the back, comes back. She's like, it's on the back. I'm like, great. That was that. Got her number. I thought that was really funny because like I was in a position of not striking out, but things weren't flowing because I'm like, okay, Instagram, don't have one. Okay, number, she doesn't know it. And then I'm just like, you know what? Enough. Here's the fucking check. You're gonna write your number down right now. And of course she obliged because that's how females are. Okay, so I get her number and I dip. And I text her, and now we'll go through the text to see how I set this up and how I close this. So, okay, I texted her 5:18, literally when I left the restaurant. And I'm like, you should probably memorize your number with like laughing emojis. And she goes, I know I should, but I just changed my number. That's my excuse. Oh, one question I asked her as well that was an interesting question for good rapport. When we were at the restaurant, I asked her if she was Italian because she had like olive skin, Italian restaurant. And she was like, no, I'm Brazilian. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I couldn't really tell. That was another question I asked that was like very low pressure, but it helps get us off work talk, off of restaurant talk, off of like you're serving me talk into more personal talk to help build rapport and help build that comfort. So I want to mention that. And then sent that emoji. I said, decent excuse. Then I go quicker on the Parmesan next time. See, I'm already fucking with her. Like I'm already like we're laughing a little bit. Like you're so silly, but like speed up, be better. Like that's funny. That's the best type of humor with women. She goes, LMAO, slow down next time then. I didn't catch your name. What's your name? I didn't even give her my name. We didn't even talk names. It was just like boom, 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 boom. And I go, I'm fast, baby. Keep up. And I said my name. You like that? Smooth. And then I go, are you still working? And she goes, I can tell you're pretty fast. And I loved it. I'm like, here we go. Here's the sexual tension building. She goes, mine is Daniela. She goes, no, I just got off. I said, are you doing anything tonight? She goes, no, really. I think she meant not really. Her English was like, okay, because she's Brazilian. And then I said, do you live in blank, which was the city of the restaurant? Because I always ask where they live for logistical purposes. So like, for example, if this girl lived, let's say in the city the restaurant was in, which I was very close to, then we would just be close to each other and she could go, I would let her go home and change because it wouldn't cause that much friction. But then she said, no, I live in blank city, which is about 20 minutes away. And so now I'm faced with this. If I let her go home and I don't capture the convenience right now and I add all this friction, I'm probably not going to see her that night. She'll go home. Oh, I'm actually so tired. Oh, I want to eat, blah, blah, blah. Like, these are how excuses happen. You have to capture the lightning in the bottle when it's right there. And this applies to any first date. Do not, like, logistics should always be on your side. Don't have a first date 40 minutes fucking away or whatever. Like, these little things matter. She goes, no, I live in blank. And then I said, don't leave the area yet, laughing face. It's far away, right? And she's like, it's like 20 minutes away. And then she laughed. And then she replied to, don't leave the area yet, laughing. And she goes, why? We doing something with the eye emoji? And I go, yeah, let's hang out. And then I said, do you want to go home and change or anything? Because 20 minutes is like feasible. I'm like, okay, we could kind of work with this. And then she goes, depends what you want to do. I'm like, nothing crazy. Don't worry about your outfit, which is totally true because I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted her to come over. And then she goes, oh, okay. Then what's the plan? And I said, where are you? I didn't know if she was on her way home yet or whatever. And I said, are you on your way home? She goes, I'm in the restaurant still. No, I'm about to start driving. And I said, perfect. I have a new destination. I sent her my address and I'm like, it's like 1 minute away, laughing face. Just to even less friction. I want her to literally be like, it's such an easy yes, like it was a no-brainer, which actually was 1 minute away. She didn't respond for a few minutes after I sent it's like 1 minute away, so I FaceTimed her. And because I want to know, like, okay, are you coming? Because like you're literally 1 minute away. Like, should I like clean the place up a little bit? I FaceTime her and I'm like, are you coming? And she's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll come down. And then I hung up and then I said, pull over, I'll come down. Because she was like, I can't find parking. And then I was like, what car are you in? And then she said Mercedes. And then I went down, I grabbed her, and then here's a picture of us on the couch for context. Yeah, and then that's us on the couch. So within 2 hours of me leaving the restaurant, she was at my place. Because you have to capture the emotion, you have to capture lightning in a bottle. And this goes for dating apps or online, or in person, whatever it is. When you first make contact with a woman and you have that spark, you have that sexual tension and that attraction, fucking strike. Do not plan this shit out for weeks. Do not become a pen pal. Don't warm it up. Don't be nervous. I'm like, we obviously are into each other. You gave me your number. What are you doing? You're right down the block. Oh, nothing? Fantastic. Come over. No questions asked. And what did she do? She obliged, exactly like I said she would. That's how you use psychological cues, banter, wit, body language, tonality. It's a full masterclass on display. These things happen a lot. They happen very often. You'd be surprised. Once you understand these components that I just mentioned, you can move through the dating world and with women with ease. Came right over, no problem. Didn't want to do anything else. We just hung out and watched Netflix. No problem. Easy. That's how you play the game. And if you want one-on-one coaching on exactly how to do this, attract more women, higher quality women, retain more women, everything you can possibly imagine, click the link below for a free strategy session with me. Personally, the sunglasses do come off on the strategy session, which is pretty fucking exciting for you because nobody gets to see my eyes. And I have some other guys below as well that can really help you out with dating. I'll see you in the next video.